Previously on TVSins.
We are going to blow her up. We will feature her online and in the paper, but we need images.
Whoever brings me that photo gets a job. What are you waiting for, Chinese New Year?
Spaceships, future war, London, England. Is it just me, or does this show already have a raging Big Ben-sized Doctor Who boner?
Vandal Savage, an evil dictator blessed with immortality.
DCCW can't stop with the endless ne'er a shun. Also, Vandal Savage? Jeez, DC, you could name a villain more on the nose if you tried. Why not just name him Bad Guy Evilson and be done with it?
He has achieved what no one in human history ever has. He has conquered the entire planet.
Someone might be able to trump that statement in a few years.
You take after your mother, huh? Or not?
Most people don't remember, but for a short time in 2016, the CW changed their tagline from Dare to Defy to We Kill Kids on Our Shows. CBS.
Compared to Savage, his forces have already claimed.
In the Time Masters Council, Rip Hunter is proving that he's the master debater.
As a Time Master of long standing, you seem to forget our responsibility is to protect the timeline, not humanity.
But then the only way to protect the timeline is to not travel through time, right? So then why was time travel ever invented, and why was a Time Masters Council ever needed? Time travel storylines and how they make you question every goddamn thing that happens. Just going to go ahead and add 10 sins for all the time travel snafus that will happen all throughout this show. Also, Discount Rory is talking about a Time Master, like a lord over time, like a Time Lord, so to speak. Do they have 3 lungs and travel in a sentient spaceship called a DARTIS? Cause rip off.
The early 2nd millennium AD, the golden age of gasoline engines, online pornography, and those silly little smartphones.
And fidget spinners. You forgot fidget spinners.
The 8 men and women who'll be joining us on our little crusade.
And I conveniently have exactly 8 chairs behind me where they can sit, even though I usually have no need for them because I usually work alone.
First recruit, Dr. Raymond Palmer, also known as the Atom.
Oh crap, this is a putting the team together episode, isn't it? You know, sometimes I feel like if TV wanted to make me a chocolate chip cookie, they couldn't do it without telling me the origin story of flour and butter, and how the 2 ingredients first got to know each other. And then vanilla drops in, like, oh hey guys, and all this time I'm in the corner with my glass of milk wanting to just eat a cookie already. Where's my cookie show? Where's my freaking cookie?
This feels good, being back in the field.
Of course, celebrating a transition from Superman to discount Ant-Man kind of feels like a bit of a downgrade. The only way you could have a more drastic drop on the superhero spectrum is if you went from Marvel to DC.
Ray, are you up for this?
There are so many goddamn Arrow cameos on these shows. At this point, I assume Stephen Amell just sleeps in that suit. I know I do. I mean...
Oh, I am not one of your adversaries.
But I am stupid enough to stand right behind you and catch you by surprise while you have your arm gun locked and loaded.
Miss Lance, join me for a drink?
How exactly is Hunter overtaking these people? You're telling me Sarah can't avoid being shot? Is the British accent his power? Is it really that charming? Yes, I know it is.
Firestorm, the merged super form of one Jefferson Jackson and Professor Martin Stein.
And originally from the show The Flash, apparently. In fact, everyone on this team feels like some sort of cast-off from a different show. This show is basically the CW version of Summer Camp, Friday Night Casserole. I mean, we got these leftovers, we might as well use them up somewhere, right? I get that Rip has a bigger agenda than just stopping a petty criminal, but there was a person that Jefferson and Martin just apprehended that I'm assuming just got left there once Rip used his little laser gun on them. What if he grows up to be a super criminal, even worse than Vandal Savage? This is exactly what the Time Masters were concerned about in the first place. Rip.
Cops will never hassle a dad buying diapers in the middle of the night.
Watching Team Prison Break here do a cheap Raising Arizona imitation, and I'm left wondering, is this show self-aware? Does it know how over the top Cheesecake Factory it's being? Is it just embracing it? Does it even matter for sitting purposes? The answer's here in order. Who cares? Did you say Cheesecake Factory? Like it matters, and hell no.
Watch it!
How exactly does Rip's Men in Black zapper work? Does it make whoever he's aiming it at, along with himself, disappear? Because either he just got hit by that van, or he caused the cop car behind it to hit the van and possibly kill innocent police officers.
Vandal Savage.
That can't be. We destroyed him.
Yeah, the Green Arrow and Flash helped us do it.
And just like that, Legends indicates that it will be comprised of 34% expositional homework from other shows. And you know how we feel about that around here.
You got the wrong guy. Hero ain't on my resume.
And apparently neither is the ability to deliver lines like an actual human being.
But when I'm from, the year 2166, you and everyone on this roof aren't just considered heroes.
You're legends.
Roll commercials.
Of all the people who ever lived, I chose you 8.
And what's very convenient for me is you all lived at the same time in 2016, so I wouldn't have to go through millions of years of history to find a proper team.
If your answer is yes, meet me at this address in 36 hours.
I don't have any other cards to give the 7 other people here, and I'm not sure I've been very clear on whether I need all 8 of you for this to proceed, but I'm sure it'll all work out.
I died once. At least the world thought I did.
Nowhere near the same thing.
This is our best chance to stop him forever.
Better than when you had the Green Arrow and the Flash assisting you? You have a lot more faith in Prison Break, Night of the Living Dead, and the Wonder Twins than anyone else does.
Winner gets to decide, little lady.
Is this closed-in room really the place to go all Scuffalo Wild Wings? Exactly how do those giant things help in close-quartered hand-to-hand combat? And now these two are fighting near high-end computers. Do Arrowverse heroes not have any training facilities?
Laurel, I died.
If you didn't catch this from the other 57 times it was mentioned in the first 12 minutes of this pilot, Sarah died. Can we f***ing move on?
The Lazarus pit brought me back, but it left me with this need to take.
The amount of exposition and cameoing in the setup to this show is breathtaking. Like, seriously, I'm having trouble maintaining a desire to keep breathing.
I found it in becoming the Black Canary.
For me, being the canary was never that positive.
Then don't be the canary. Be the white canary.
You know, when you say canary that many times in a row, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to mean something to me. But nope, just another reference from a different show that you've given zero context for. It's like trying to read an article where every other sentence is in a different language. Is there a Google Translate for the Arrowverse? Also, this is dialogue that someone wrote, and then 2 people said it out loud, and then a room full of people said, yeah, that's a f***ing shit right there.
Where's the mask? You don't need it anymore. We've lived in the shadows long enough.
But that's not the reason superheroes wear masks. It's to protect themselves and, more importantly, their family and friends. You 100% need a f***ing mask.
Knock yourself out. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Oh, so I see the Perry It's a Fire team here just took their relationship to the roofie kidnapping stage. Isn't that cute? So you're telling me that this card had an address on it? This is the middle of nowhere in a city. Did the card have an actual address, or did it say, meet me in the abandoned parking lot where that serial killer stashed his bodies that one time?
Shall we?
Episode takes 17 minutes to officially Legends of Tomorrow.
I have never seen anything like this before.
Neither have I. And considering I have 4,000 years worth of memories, that's saying something.
But you haven't been to the future or space, so why is this surprising at all?
Not even Gideon can determine where or when we can find him. But I have the next best thing. The man who can.
So Vandal Savage has covered his tracks enough through time, and not even Gideon can find him, but this asshole can? What exactly does this guy research that Gideon can't? Rip was concerned enough about disrupting the timeline to have that ship cloaked while it was on the ground, but taking off in a giant time ship in broad daylight is perfectly kosher?
Whoa, that is some serious Darth Vader going on there.
Yeah, we all remember the Darth Vader who was decked in a silver metal suit and carried a big gun around. I think that was in the Star Wars What If Everything Was Shitty and Useless and Dumb trilogy that came out in 1985.
I'm determining whether you are integral to the timeline. You are not.
Hey man, haven't you ever read A Sound of Thunder or watched It's a Wonderful Life? The minimal impact of these guys being gone from the world could translate into huge differences that nothing can calculate. Why bother?
4,000 years ago, Vandal Savage was an Egyptian priest, secretly in love with a priestess.
Professor Exposition!
Or rather, you in your first life.
But you were in love with another.
And I stepped into a recording booth for this very part of the story because gravitas.
Savage, or hath said as he was then known, learned of the affair and was consumed with jealous rage.
This ancient Egyptian backstory is so paint by numbers, I swear both Brendan Fraser and Tom Cruise are about to walk around the corner.
My theory is that the three of you were exposed to the same radiation by the meteorites.
While being bit by a spider that took super soldier serum and was struck by lightning.
You taught me to be careful, to keep moving, always one step ahead of Savage.
So you become the world's leading expert on him to keep him off your radar?
We were hoping you could tell us a bit more where to locate Savage's present whereabouts.
Cool, because I just so happen to have a slideshow all set up right here that answers that exact question.
The more the world is focused on destroying itself, the less it notices an immortal psychopath.
Sadly, this checks out.
Something tells me you know where to locate Vandal Savage.
I have an educated guess.
Since that's the actual answer to the original question he asked, how about you lead with that next time, buddy?
Who wants to listen to some Captain and Tennille? My mother played it. A lot.
And apparently jukeboxes in 1975 didn't cost any money.
You want to dance, Leonard?
You go right ahead. I'll watch.
That sounded a lot creepier than he probably intended.
How about you join me in the parking lot?
Because these characters aren't doing anything that matters, the show puts them in a situation where, for no reason that is clear, this asshole starts some shit with Sarah so that we can see what a badass she is. Even as far back as the 70s, random bar patrons suffered from the incurable fighting disease of one-at-a-time-itis.
His name is Kronos. He's a temporal bounty hunter.
Captain Kronos, temporal bounty hunter.
I've spent years studying the implications of chronological alteration.
Well, good for you. But we're not going anywhere unless our son's coming
coming with us.
Ah, yes, the old I do what I want routine. That's sure to work on a Time Master who understands the severity of time-altering decisions.
Is that a laser gun?
Well, jeez, was Gideon born in a futuristic barn? How do you leave the door open when you're under attack? Where the hell did the Hawks keep their gear while they were wandering around the university?
We go out for one lousy drink, and you guys somehow managed to pick a fight with Boba Fett.
Well, handle the cheesy, outdated cultural references around here, Stone Cold Thief Austin.
My son is hurt because of you.
Damn, you went all in on being a mother, despite completely losing that memory and being reminded of it just an hour ago. How do you even process something like that to become supermom in an instant? And your son is, like, old now.
I chose you all because 100 years from now, your lives have a minimal effect on the recorded timeline.
So I guess that rules out the idea of the butterfly effect then. Suck it, Coocher!
Just a collection of nobodies who time really doesn't give a damn about.
Wow, that's harsh. But yeah, pretty much. Still though, no worries. You have ties to 3 other shows on the CW schedule, and they aren't exactly overrun with quality programs, so you should be good.
We had a child. Jonas.
Legends of Tomorrow flashback. Tomorrow back?
I think we all need a little time to consider our options.
But considering there's obviously an episode 2 and 3 and so on, dramatic tension such as this is pointless. They're obviously going to stay, and this serves neither the purpose of a cliffhanger or an interesting moment in any way.
What if I don't want to go home? Yet, I mean.
Why the change of heart?
Because a writer's room somehow found it believable that the guy who was literally drugged and kidnapped would change his mind even though it appears even more dangerous and stupid than when he was protesting in the first place. Seems about right.
The best feeling I ever got from being on the field wasn't when I made a great play or we won some game. It was when one of my teammates took a tackle for me.
One of your teammates took a tackle for you? What kind of defense was the other asshole team playing? That sounds like a description of football by someone who's never played it or watched it.
And there has been another unfortunate consequence of Kronos' attack. Care to hear about it?
Not really.
Yeah, it's probably not important. I don't even know why Gideon is giving Rip a choice to hear this bad news, other than it's because the screenwriter said so.
Kronos, even Vandal, won't be the only enemy we face.
Because God knows how many episodes we'll have to fill with this nonsense.
And our malcontents?
I like killing people.
We're in.
I'd give at least 20 cents back if Viola Davis showed up right now eating steak.
I've already had Gideon plot a course.
Skip!
I'm known to be quite vexing. I'm just forewarning you.
Scott Farkas. What a rotten name. He had yellow eyes. So help me God, yellow eyes.
What's your name, son?
You! That's my name!
I bet it uses ionic propulsion.
I doubt that very much, given that even advanced technology wouldn't be able to sustain an ionic reaction.
Nerd alert!
Looking good, Mr. Carter.
I found it in becoming a black canary.
Pretty bird. Yeah, can you say pretty bird?
The Time Masters discourage marriage.
I have a message and a question. A message from the Doctor and a question from me. Where is my wife?